Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video I would like to show you how to install Dosbox-X in FreeBSD and get Windows 3.11 up and running. Alright, let's do this. We need first to install Dosbox-X. In my system this is already done, so pkg install Dosbox-X, and this is already done. And the next thing I'm going to prepare is a directory that I'm going to call Win311. So let's go to this directory. Now I've prepared another folder with all the things that we're going to need for this case. And this is also called Win311, but with capital letters. I'm just going to copy everything to this directory. But first I'm going to create a directory. Let's call it setup. So let's go to the setup and let's copy all the files. Alright, so this is now done. As we can see, we have a setup directory here. Here under the setup directory, we have already one file called win311.conf that I need to copy. Setup win311.conf. Let's copy it here and let's have a look at this file. This file basically sets up Dosbox-X. We have settings for STL, for DOSBox. Let's call the title Windows 3.11. For DOS, drive, here for PCI, render, and here for the time being, let's keep this directory. So let's mount a hard disk from the directory Win311. For now, I'm going to delete this part here, and I'm going to set up the NE2000, a network card, on IRQ10 with backend slurp. Alright, how do we run this? We run this with Dosbox-X -conf win311.conf. Alright, so we have everything mounted here. So let's start installing Windows. For that, I'm going to go to the drive A, mount multiple disk images. Under the setup directory, I have it already configured, Win311, and we have disk 1. That's the first disk. Do you want to mount some more? Yes. Setup. Let's go for disk number 2. Yes. Number 3. Do you want to mount additionally? No, I don't want. So we go first to the drive A, type in there, and we see here the files are there, and we just type in setup. Press enter, and let's just go with enter again. Now we are being asked for disk number 2, and we give the disk number 2 by going to drive A, and since we mounted all the disks, we just need to swap the disk and press enter. Let's just put a username and click on continue. We can skip the tutorial and we can just reboot the machine. Now Windows is installed, but we are going to see there is currently a problem with the mouse. So when we type in Win, now let's see the problem with the mouse. So if I click here and I try to move the cursor, you see it disappeared already. Okay, it's there here. You can see, and this is not looking very good. So let's try to fix that. Let's go to drive C and type in setup. And here under the mouse property, and we go to other. Let's put a path here for the drivers, C/setup/DOSBox/Win31. Yes, and Dosbox-X integration. And that's basically it. Accept, and let's try again Windows. And there we go. You can see that the mouse cursor is now working properly. So what am I going to do now is I'm going to configure the video graphics driver. Exit. Now to configure the video drivers, we type in again setup. and we go to the display and we search for other drivers, go to the end of the list, other, C, setup, and I place this under S3. And let's get this to 1024 times 768 with 64,000 colors. That should be good. So, okay, accept, and we are good to go. We need driver disk 3, so we put the same path, setup, S3, and that's it. Let's try again, Windows. And now we have better graphic drivers. All right. So the next thing I'm going to be installing is Win32 extensions. For that, I'm going to go to the File Manager, to the Setup directory, Win32s, and okay, it's several disks, so we use the same trick as before. Go to the drive, A, mount multiple disks. Under Setup, we have Win32s, disk 1, yes, disk 2, and disk 3. No more disks, all is good. And here in the file manager, we go to drive A. So it's a 1.44 megabyte. That was the time. So setup, continue, and we install. So need disk 2, so we swap the drive. Okay. Disk 3, swap the drive, and it's installed successfully. Now we continue and install additionally the game, continue, and all is well. So Windows restarts. Let's try FreeCell. Yes, it's working. So let's install now another program that I used quite a lot in the old times from MS-DOS, and this is called XTreeGold. There was two main competitors. One of them was, as far as I remember, Norton Commander, which I still use nowadays, which is the Midnight Commander, because the one that I used all the time has been ported very poorly to Unix systems, and this was XTreeGold. And in my opinion, because I used XTreeGold all the time, the XTreeGold for MS-DOS is the most awesome file manager tool for MS-DOS text mode. So let's get this running. Go to the drive, mount. So first we unmount the previous disks, and now we mount the multiple disks, I think. Setup, XTG. Yeah, we need 2 disks. Yes, then the next one. And we don't need any more. It's mounted. Let's go to drive A. And there. Now let's install XTreeGold. So install. Okay. All looks fine. Okay. Username. Next one. Okay, so we need the second drive. So again, we go and we swap the disk and just press OK. Okay, and now it should be there, XTGold. Hooray! That's XTreeGold. In Unix, you can still install some version. I think it's called Y-Tree, but the porting is I don't like it for the current version. So I use Midnight Commander, which is the equivalent to the old Norton Commander. Okay, so one of the things is that this is not in the path. So we're going to go here down and edit this file. Edit, and here we place the correct path. C/XTGold and C DOS smart drive and save. One thing you might see here is that the ZDOS, it was not there, although I configured this in the configuration file. So I'm going to force this to run, and I'm going to show you how to do that. In the meantime, just because I like to do it, I'm going to actually configure the colors the way I like. So I think there's a star, and it's XTG_CFG. Like this. This is the way I used to like it. save, yes, and XTGold. Yes, this is the way that it should look like. Good, now let's make auto-exec part. Run, so quit, yes, exit. We're going to edit the win311.conf. Let's go down. And here, instead of setting the path, I'm going to do C and auto-exec part. All right, let's run again. And there it is, XTGold with ZDOS. Let's try XTGold. Yes, the next thing I'm going to fix is the keyboard, the German one. So edit this file and go here. Keyboard DE. Save, exit, quit. Yes, let's restart. Now the keyboard should be German. Now the next thing I'm going to configure is the network card, the NE2000. For that, let's go to XTGold. And we have under the setup, we have, so I installed the DOSBox. These are the couple of drivers here for the mouse, and I use the 3.1. This is to make the mouse work in Windows. We need the MTCP, we need NE2000, and under NE2000 I have two drivers. You can download this from the internet. It's the ne2000.com and winpkt.com. We have Netscape. These are a couple of versions that we're going to try out. I have Sound Blaster 16. I'm not going to install the Sound Blaster. We are going to need Winsock. Okay, so let's start with NE2000. This is under Setup Win 2000. You can see the path here, Setup Win NE2000, and I need to run those two files. So for that, let's edit auto-exec path, edit, and we put it here, C/setup/NE2000/NE2000, and now it's 0x60 10 0x300. So this means it's on IRQ10 and the IO port 300. Now we get C setup NE2000/winpkt.exe, we don't need, and 0x60. And this should configure the card. We still need the DHCP. So before that we do C setup, I forgot about this, /MTCP/DHCP. In order to configure the DHCP, we need to set another variable. So let's just put it here, set MTCP CFG equals, and let's put this under C/setup/MTCP.CFG. So we need to have this file. We're going to see setup MTCP.CFG. So MTCP CFG, I think that's fine. Let's save. And here, let's copy from the samples. Let's copy this file as MTCP.CFG to F2. I think we can point. Yes, we can point to here. That's it, to see setup. Enter. And now it should be there. So let's see, under setup, we have the mtcp.cfg. So this is the file for the DHCP. And this is pointing to the correct path, I think. So mtcp.cfg, setup mtcp.cfg. Let's give this a spin. Let's give this a try. So quit. Yes, let's just exit and restart. All right, so it seems that things went pretty well. So we have the IP address 10.02.15. So we got an IP address with a net mask 255.255.255.0. The gateway is at 2.2 and the name server, the domain name server, is at 2.3. The WinPKT is also running and all looks good. Now we need to set up Winsock in Windows. For that, we go to main under file manager, setup, Winsock, and we have a disk. Okay, so drive, mount a single disk, setup, Winsock here, mount, and let's go here, and we can just install this. Trumpet Winsock, okay, install. It's all fine. Let's just do it. So install here. Okay. Type in like this. There is a small adaptation that needs to be done to the AutoExec, so we just save. We accept 10.0.0.2.15. That was the IP address that we got for the machine. The DNS server 10.0.2. I think the server was at 2.2. It's a packet driver. The vector is the 60. Gateway, so 255. The net mask 255.255.0. Gateway is at the 3, or is it no? The name server. Sorry, the name server was at 3, and the gateway was 10.0.2.2. Okay, let's try. You need to restart. Fine, all good. Restart. Now, one of the things we're going to see is that, unfortunately, because we're using slurp, so SLIRP, we cannot ping things like 8888. Well, ping is not there, but under setup, MTCP, there is the ping utility there. There it is. We should be able to ping 8888, but this is not going to ping. So this is going just to say timeout, but the network is working properly. The problem is that to ping, you need special administrator privileges, and it's just pings are not working here. So we try Windows. All right, so we go here under Program Manager. So we cannot get ping to work, but we should be able to get a browser. So let's try to install the browser. For that, I'm going to go to the setup again and pick up a really old one. So from Netscape, we have Mozaic 0.4. Just because I don't know if this is going to decompress something, I'm going to create a new directory. Let's call it Mozaic. And this was an amazing thing. We could already do drag and drop. Look here. This came already in Windows 3.1. Okay, so this is running already. It's not decompressing anything, so that is good. And the way I'm going to see that the network is working is I'm going to go here and start another terminal and netcat. So we are in the IP address. This machine is 192.168.284. And not netcat, but I can just start Python. That's http://http.server. Now I go to here, and if I point to this HTTP 192.168.284 on port 8000, I should see something changing here. Let's see. Yes, I see there is something incoming here, and this means that the network is working. So cancel transfer. Just to make this application run, I wrote a very small server. So let's stop this one here, and let's go to a directory that I call SRV. And I'm not going to go into the details of this program, but this was coded with ChatGPT. It's doing HTTP 1.0. And it's just a very simple, very basic server that just looks at the file in the URL and just serves it. That's it. It runs on port, I think 8000. Let me see. 8000. Yes, port 8000. And it should be the same thing. And it's just going to serve the files that are local. So I have an index.html. So cat index.html. This is an experiment. And yeah, just let's just add something here. So a paragraph, I was here. All right. So now let's just serve this. It's serving files on port 8000. Let's go again to the Windows machine and let's reload the page. So reload, is there a button? No, it's okay. Just load again. This is an experiment. I was here. How awesome is that? This is the beginning of the internet. We can go for another version, which should be Netscape version 1.1. So I'm going to create a new directory with create directory, Netscape 1.1. Let's just call it like that. I think this one decompresses some files, so I'm going to move it there. And yes, it's decompressing some things. Let's try it again. So here, setup, continue, Netscape. Finally doing an installation of Netscape. Would you like to read the README file? No. Let's try Netscape. So it's running now, this version of Netscape. It cannot go to this page, but we can try our amazing page 192.168.284. 2.84 port 8000. And do I need the index HTML? I don't think so. So this is an experiment. I was here. There is still some old websites that are still working. theoldnet.com. And you're going to see here down that it's going to load quite a lot of things. So let's try it. It's loading quite a lot of stuff, and this is a web page, so it's still receiving files, and it's a web page from the old days. Alright, that's it for today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have some comments or suggestions, use the space down below. Thanks for passing by, take care, and see you next time. Bye bye!